Hello, everyone. For everyone who are listening to this beautiful podcast, it is VissionCast started by EntrepreneurTime Online. And today we have one of our finest guests, Mr. Krishna Chaitanya, who is the CEO and the founder of PublishSutra. And today, let's talk more insights about how research is going to be the future of data analytics, how analytics is going to rule the future, especially when it comes to business, and how various forms of technology will overtake the traditional methods of business development and stuff. And you cannot listen more from my side because we are having our finest guest, and he's an expert in this. Welcome, Krishna Chaitanya. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Karthik. And first of all, I'd like to thank to whole Vision Talk team for organizing such initiatives. And
Mhm.
specifically, I would like to thank to Prithvi Thamanna Garu for
Mhm.
coming up with like exciting initiatives all the time and bringing entrepreneurship culture to rural cities and the areas. So yeah. So with respect to the research, we at PublishSutra we are moreover into research and consulting and development.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, future gonna be completely like ruled by the analytics because like all the data-driven decisions, like whatever generally whenever it comes to decision making, previously we used to rely on our like ancestors and our neighbors, like let's say I have just finished my 10th standard and what should I have to do? And then those people gonna suggest that, my cousin has done right after 10th standard, they have moved to the plus two. So,
Mhm.
but right now the things are like completely data driven. So you need not to rely on only single decision where, you have like, bunch of data that is coming to the internet all the time. I mean, all
Mhm.
you just need to, just run the data and do some
Mhm.
certain analytics. So where it can help you to choose what you want to do and it
Mhm.
can decide where exactly you want to,
Mhm.
land out and what based upon your interests and based upon your strengths. Now the systems are able to analyze the things and they're gonna suggest you more into like a recommender systems and and also all the business strategy and development are also completely relying on the
Mhm.
analytics part because like earlier it was used to be more on talking over phone calls and understanding the people's
True.
behavior
True that.
but now the things are like in fact the sales department are looking to hire analytics guys or
Yes. Yes.
statisticians who can develop a model for their revenue model or like more into that. Yeah, I mean.
So, Chaitanya, what are your suggestions for someone who would like to start up his career into business analytics from just another, let it be like engineering, electrical engineering, or a mechanical engineering background who does not know anything about it? So, how do you
Okay.
suggest?
So the first thing that I would suggest to the budding business analytics or someone who wants to get into analytics field, first of all, they should be really good with the statistics part. So I mean, like they have to understand how to manipulate data and how to, apply an algorithms, and they should be quite good with mathematics as well. But though business analytics is someone, I mean, like he need not to be great with the programming, but he should be able to understand right from the requirement gathering and what are the phases that is being involved whenever like there is certain project that is being involved, like what kind of the questions, what I mean, like yeah, they should be more of like a problem solving, like or rather than being into the programming, like they should be able to solve problems and they should be able to provide an optimal solutions to any particular problem, any challenge that is being thrown, and they should be able to provide better solutions to because like in order to solve particular problems there are n number of ways to tackle the same problem, right?
Yes.
And
Yes. Yeah.
also not the same solution will be applicable to the different constraints and different geographical locations and things like that. But being a data analytics, they have to do rigorous analysis and they have to come up with a effective strategy that how could they be able to come with an optimal solution to a particular problem. And right, I mean, like they are the one who should be the front face of the organization by involving with the other organizations, and also they should have a good communication skills. That is the thing that which should a business analytics should focus upon. And also because they are the one who will be involving morely with the technology team and the other departments and the clients, so they should be able to be on time with respect to their task, that what exactly they are taking, because on their so because the organization will be heavily relying on the business analytics decisions. So they should be take every single decision wisely. So it's better, I could suggest, to solve lots of business case studies Like there are n number of Boston Consulting case studies, to name few, McKinsey case studies, or like Goldman and Sachs. If they go to these financial companies, they throw lots of case studies. In fact, these IIMs also do have, like, in their selection process, I mean, like in the interview process, they do throw lots of case studies. So I highly recommend these students who wants to get into, business analytics or even consulting for that matter. So they should be able to solve those business case studies. I mean, yeah, that's what I recommend, to solve as number of case
Nice,
studies. That's
nice.
the only way to, get
Yes,
into
yes.
the problem solving. Yeah,
Yes, because unless and until we do something, we do not know whether we are good at it or
yeah,
whether, that's not at all our cup of tea. But then it's nice to know about this. I'd like to know more on what Publish Sutra does. Now that you have been telling about how data analytics and business and research will be taking over the future into various aspects, let it be guessing how the market goes, or uh, like everything that has been happening in a traditional way till date, now it will be turned into analytics, in statistics and proper numbers, and people believe in numbers more than words. So
yeah.
how exactly Publish Sutra works, and how do you make sure that, yeah, how do you take it forward?
Okay, okay. So PublishSutra is basically a research and development organization which also does like a consulting to the development firms and the students. I mean, like, who wants to get their career trajectory into the research and development. So I mean, like, we have like various programs when it comes to, students who wants to get into research. We do offer the fellowship. I mean, currently there is a one of the, I mean, like, one of the prestigious program of our organization, that is computational research and analysis fellowship. So where, we take like the best minds from the India and we do train them on research, and that is one side of it. And the other side of it is like, we have like a professors database, like where from, professors right from, IITs, NITs, and Westphal, in fact, from the top notch universities, Ivy League universities from, US and Canada and Australia. So we have like various community chapters is being established in US and Canada so far. So there is like, now, let's say any students wants to pursue a research, or if they want to solve any particular problem. Now what exactly we do, in the sense, we will connect that particular student based upon the interest of the another professor. So we'll map that student and that professor. So it's like, our platform, it just act as a LinkedIn for a researchers. So where, like, they can connect and they can collaborate with other researchers, and more or less, like, they can be able to write the research papers, and we'll also help them to publish the research papers in, like, prestigious journals like Taylor and Francis and Scopus, Springer, and you know other journals. So far we have been trained almost like 6,000 plus students, and there are like 2,000 active researchers in the community, so who are actively taking challenges in any research, and they can provide any kind of research solution to any organization. So, and also we do provide our research scholars to the organizations. If any organization is looking to hire a best trained researcher, so probably the companies will reach out to you, and you know they'll throw the reviews, and what exactly they want to the requirement. So we'll be able to map that with their organization.
True that,
Yeah,
true that. It's nice. It's nice to hear so much of valuable stuff from you and about the great things that your organization is doing together. Building that budding research community in India and taking it forward. It sounds really great. So I would like to know that you've told that your parents were teachers, and from a family that does not take much risks into entrepreneurship and business. How did you make your way, and was it a difficult move convincing them that you would go to the entrepreneur side, and how exactly did that thought happen, and how did you execute it?
yeah, I mean, as usual, like another every engineering student, like it was quite challenging for me to convince my parents that I will be getting into the entrepreneurial side, and things. But in fact, they actually refused it when I said first time. So they was like, "What's wrong with you?" And my mom was completely skeptical about my life. Oh my God, what happened to him? And I mean, like, you are watching some different English movies and you are getting inspired, like being an entrepreneur or something like that. Don't take decisions quickly by, having a limited information. So that's what they always used to, suggest, because they being into the educational background, I mean, like, there it's prime responsibility for them to ensure their child to be on a right track so that they will be able to advise to their students. So but there are like a few things that even my parents made realize that is a good fit to enter into the business ecosystem and start his career. Because like I have been won like almost like 8 hackathons, like also business challenges, and I won entrepreneurial challenges and the competitions, in fact, for that matter. So I mean, like I was almost be able to earn as equal as my parents is earning, like when I was just in my thing. But
Engineering.
and yeah, and also my mom, she just said that do whatever you want to do, and but just get an offer letter from a company and put that offer letter in my hand, and then do
Mm.
what exactly you want. So just for our sake, I mean, I have attended like various companies and I've cracked and being gotten lucrative packages. So I mean, I've been offered as a data scientist in like top companies. So and so I mean, I just kept that offer letter in my mom's hand. Then she was like, "Thumbs up, it's good to go. Do whatever you want for the next 1 year of time. And then if things doesn't work out, then you have to switch your
Yeah.
careers." And so, but somehow, luckily, currently, as I said that, like I got an opportunity to work. I mean, like to pursue my master's in data analytics and computational social sciences along with the side of my entrepreneurial career. So where it is like 50% being funded by JK Lakshmipad Singhania Educational Foundation. So where my first year will be based out in India and the second year will be based out in United States. So yeah, I'm expecting to move to US in December, and once after I finish that program and I'll be come back to India and I'll
So
start.
with which university are you doing this data analytics?
University of Massachusetts. It's one of the
Wow.
largest research university in the world. Yeah,
Yes, yes, that's so great, and congratulations once again from our side as well that
thank
you were
you.
able to do that. So, for students who are listening this, how were you able to crack the scholarship, or what kind of traits does these scholarship organizations look into before they give you the wings to fly?
Okay, so the main thing that any organization, whenever they are offering any scholarship, first of all, they look your profile. I mean, like they
Yeah.
look something different because these days, like I have been into hiring as well. Like I've been looking every student resume. It's like in these COVID times, they have like bunch of Coursera certificates and things like that.
Yes,
And also
yes.
everyone are doing a common project, Tic Tac Toy. It's a common project that is being listed on every. And also these days the COVID tracker is a trendy project. It's almost in all the resumes. And also the
Yes.
main problem with project should be quite different because that has a huge impact for the deciding a scholarship. So your project should be more on your real time, or else though even though it's not to be a real time, but at least it should be something new. You should involve right from the data collection to the deployment. You should not get, I mean, like like I won't recommend students to work on the data that which is already available, because students will, I mean, like, because being into data analytics or business analytics, or it could be anything, students will heavily rely on this Kaggle data sets. And there are n number of data sets. I mean, there are like thousands of students who has been worked on the same data set, and nothing great. I mean, like, what exactly they does these students will be doing. First of all, you have to pick some certain different projects that you know the projects is one of the vital aspect. And the other thing is that do more volunteering stuff. So that is something that will really help them to fetch into this. I mean, like, do certain community volunteering and help community, and involve in sharing knowledge and helping students. So do, and also internships for that matter, that could really helpful to, I mean, like, for me, my research papers helped me to get this prestigious scholarship. And also, like, as I already mentioned, I won several hackathons. So I won the Telangana state hackathon, and after
Wow.
which, like, I got an opportunity to work in IT department under J.S. Ranjan, principal secretary, to work for a tribal welfare. I was offered as a product developer and research fellow over there. So where I worked and developed a few different analytical dashboards to tribal welfare department, and there are TUFIDC department. I mean, more or like generally whatever the things that I learned, even it could be a small thing or even it could be a last thing, I'll definitely make sure to apply that learning to the practical life. And also I believe that, all the domains are interconnected in some or the other way. Like, like computer science is connected with biological sciences, and environmental science is connected with
Yeah.
electronics and civil. So, all the domains are interconnected. So,
Hmm.
if you closely, I mean, like, and also I believe that every solution is available right in front of the nature. So all you
Hmm.
just need to do is, like, think deeply on simple things.
Hmm.
So that was the thing that I could suggest.
Hmm.
So, and also while
So.
writing scholarships
Hmm.
as well, so the SOPs and, these also plays a vital role. So
Hmm.
one should do lots of research, and but these days, lots of students are just copy pasting the, SOPs from different people that is available online. But they
True.
forgot that these, the universities, they have the plagiarism checker. So they just do
Exactly.
the plagiarism, and, now the
Hmm.
students get to know from where they copy. So I highly recommend that students should write their own SOPs rather than, writing by someone.
True.
Or,
True.
I mean,
Hmm.
it would be great, like, taking help from someone for the suggestions or for the review of the document, but they should not rely on the other person, because you are the one who knows more about your life rather than knowing
Exactly.
someone. So, yeah,
The
I
main
think these
purpose of,
projects,
yeah. Hmm. The main
yeah,
purpose of SOP is lost when someone else writes over.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mm. Nice that. So now that you have mentioned that whenever you wanted to have a solution regarding any problem, you would just take a minute and think deeply. So I am so attached to that point now. So how do you actually maintain your mental health when it comes to so much stress? Like, you are pursuing your masters with Massachusetts University, and that's not a small thing. You're also running your startup, and you'll
Yeah.
definitely have more pressure and more stress and more work to do, basically. And how do you cater time to yourself and your to your
When it
mental
comes to
health? Yeah.
yeah. So first thing is that I focus on my fitness a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, because like it's quite hard for me to balance my life, being involved, like doing it's a double masters basically.
Yeah.
Generally, a master's student will do it. It lasts for 2 years, but whereas I'm doing two masters in like 2 years. In 1 year, I'm doing one masters, and in another year, I'm doing another masters.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a
Mm-hmm.
double degree. It's like it's too hectic, and also along with the side I have to take care of the organization, all the team members, and there are like bunch of interns whom I have to take care personally. So but first thing is that I give my first priority to my health rather
Mm-hmm.
than giving it to the organization, or rather than it could be my
Mm-hmm.
studies. So because
Okay.
health is one of the prominent role. And
Mm-hmm.
also I do like lots of meditation when I get stressed. I better put everything. I will completely disconnect from the devices, and I'll just go to a place, and I just sit idly, and I'll think about like think something different. I mean, like, to just to deviate my work pressure and something like that. Also, I used to solve puzzles
Mm-hmm.
so that I could keep my brain all the time active, and because that's the most important thing. And also, yeah, I used to read books as well, for that matter. So more into research and scientific books, or else like it could be some comics. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, more into health and fitness. And I love the whenever I get like free time, I used to go to the hill climbing, and I
Mm-hmm.
like certain adventures and something
Mm-hmm.
like that. So yeah, I used to, whenever I get free time, I used to
Mm-hmm.
do something different, like into health. Yeah.
Nice. So one last question that sums up the entire podcast that we had is, who is that one single person who gives you the push all the time? Every time you want to be like, let's do it tomorrow, or let's postpone this, let's me have some sleep. Who is that one thing or one book or that one person who can give you that push every time, every single time?
I mean, there is no specific one person. Yeah, there are
Mm-hmm.
few persons in my life who played a very, very crucial role. Like it could be, my personal life, or it could be my professional life. Or
Mm-hmm.
so when it comes to my personal life, like, my dad is the one, who
Mm-hmm.
plays a very vital role. Like he's the only one who's being supportive all the time. I do remember. So like when I go to a competition, I mean, it could be anything. It could be anything. Before just going into the competition, rather than he's saying, like all the best, he used to
Mm-hmm.
say that advance congratulations. I mean,
Wow.
like, that word literally made me to, go in competition. And I imagine that I'm the winner of the competition. And,
Mm-hmm.
after the competition, I used to call my dad. And dad, as
Mm-hmm.
usual, like, it's already you have conveyed the wishes so that it was
Mm-hmm.
reached. So, that level of confidence that he had. And also, like, there are competitions where, I wasn't even reached to the top. I got like rejected in the first round. And then when I came back to home, there was a situation like, where my dad prepared a chicken and,
Mm-hmm.
though
Mm-hmm.
being a failure, like, he just accepted it proudly and, he just gave me a thoughts that, you have to learn from your mistakes and something like that. And also there is another person that is the most important in my life, that is my sister. So she's
Okay.
also the one, who is as equal as my dad,
Mm-hmm.
who keeps all the time motivating and supporting. And whenever there is something challenging, so not all the time I could share things to my dad, so I rely on my sister, and where she could help me in the decision
Mm-hmm.
factor. And luckily I got like, great friends who can, solve my problems. And there's one specific friend called Karthik. He's
Mm-hmm.
the, probably I could say the role model. And all the time, whenever I need something, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'll call to him and I'll get his advice what to do. And, more or
Mm-hmm.
less, like, he's my, I could say, when it comes to, I mean, he always suggests, no matter what, be honesty is the only thing to get succeed. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is the thing. I mean, not only Satvik, and there are like few Manishankar, Adarsh, and Rahul, and
Mm-hmm.
Avi. And, I should say that, I have like a great friends, you know,
Mm-hmm.
who are like, suggesting and helping me to do anything when it comes to technical. There is one person called Chandu. I heavily rely on him. I mean, there are people who are like, ready to advise or, take out of their time, and they are providing their valuable suggestions to me in my career trajectory. So they are not only one person in my life, but yeah, there are like different persons play a different role in my
Mm-hmm.
life to get succeed and what exactly where I'm in. But yeah, in the entrepreneurial career that I'm to be, I consider as a successful social entrepreneur. That's just because of my brother who is running this Akshara chit funds, is the chairman of that. He's the one, like, who started with nothing, not even a
Mm-hmm.
single rupee. So with that role model, I mean, like, with that motivation, I have started this PublishSutra. And there is such
Mm-hmm.
an interesting thing with respect to my starting with this PublishSutra. I have started with a zero rupee. I mean, like, not
Okay.
even a single rupee that I got it from my parents' pocket. So there are at times where I need some money. In fact, for that matter, I mean, like,
Okay.
whenever I require money, I used to, do this content writing. And,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have done n number of stuff to earn money and, utilize whatever the money that I have earned. So that being invested in the organization. So till now, I mean, like, I can proudly state that I haven't even taken a single rupee from my parents, and I haven't even bothered when it comes to the, financial aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, all this, by looking these success stories keeps me motivating. So whenever there is yeah, I mean, I, to be honest, yeah, I do like lots of procrastination. Like, whenever there is something that I need to take up, it
Mm-hmm.
took me lots of time to, just to start. But once I get onto the track, like, I'll finish it at any cost. If I decide
Mm-hmm.
something to do, get things done.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, yeah,
That's so nice. That's so nice.
yeah,
You explained like your entire trajectory of your friend circle, life, friends, family, making sure that
yeah,
everyone made an impact in your life, and that sounds so great that even we need to find out, like, people who are listening to this, make sure that you have the finest friend circle. It's always said, right? Like, if you are with four fools, the fifth fool is just you, and if you are with four great people, you could be the fifth great person. So
yeah.
being in a good environment plays a vital role. Thank you so much, Krishna, for your time and for your explanation and what exactly is business analytics, how data analytics works, how Publish Sutra is making sure that an entire community of budding researchers are coming up, and also about your life into pursuing a dual degree in 2 years, that too from the finest universities on the planet Earth, right? So thank you so much for your valuable time. And is there anything else that you would like to add on to our valuable listeners here?
I mean, there are like two suggestions that I could make. The first thing
Mm-hmm.
is that, uh, like experience is the best education, no matter
Mm-hmm.
what. Like, learn from your experiences and never do the same mistake again and again. Learn from the past experiences that you have got. And the other thing is that when you talked about, make friends wisely and things like that. So I highly recommend, students just not to make friendship in their own, let's say if he's a student of an engineering and if he's pursuing computer science, don't make more friends in some the same department. Try
Yeah.
to, make a friend from MBA and try to make a friend from, civil engineering, because, and also, they spend like majority of the time whenever in the class they sit beside them, right? I mean, like it won't, but in order to diversify the thought process, I highly suggest students to make different friends. I mean, like, they have to learn from different people. And, that's where the vision talks comes into picture, where they
Yes.
brings different people lives and stories and, success stories and failure stories. So I mean, like, learn from the different people, and that's the thing that I could suggest.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, yes, it's true that Vision Cast in the form of a podcast is trying to bring
Yeah.
various visions, various visionary people, various stories, let it be success or failure, because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
we are all a story, right? So thank you so much for your valuable time.
Thank you,
It's
Karthik.
been a
Thank you,
pleasure
sir.
having
Yeah.
you. It's been amazing here. And I'm really looking forward to see you grow. We are really looking forward to hear your stories on more magazines and more websites. And thank you so much. All the best, and congratulations for everything that you have achieved. And with that, we can end this beautiful podcast. Thank you so much to all our valuable listeners. And for those who are watching this on YouTube, do not forget to hit the like and share and subscribe. And for those who are listening this on Spotify or any podcast medium, please do keep listening to our more stories here. Thank you so much, Krishna, once again. Have a great day ahead.